Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Milgauss, reference 116400. You can see and you can purchase this Rolex Milgauss, a discontinued reference, on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full commercial listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images, and of course complete pricing details for this Rolex Milgauss. Now it's important to note that as of 2016 the only Milgauss variants still cataloged by Rolex are the GV with the black dial and the green tinted crystal, and the GV Z Blue with the electric blue sunburst dial and the green tinted crystal. This more discreet, elegant, and one might say even more aesthetically versatile variant of the Milgauss has been consigned to history, but it lives on our website where you can purchase it. And it's important to note that since the last time I featured a Milgauss on the channel, I've added a lot of new features to the reviews, including wrist shots, so I want to give full dimensions and impressions. Now the timepiece is 40 millimeters across the round of the case, not including the crown. The Milgauss is quite distinct from most Rolex sports watches in that it has no crown guards, so it does wear a bit more compact. In terms of thickness, 13 millimeters thick, and with a nicely sloped conical bezel, it easily slides underneath a dress cuff. Now the watch from lug to lug is 49.5 millimeters, and this is a significant reference because it's one of the few Rolex references with the solid end links of the modern era, such that the end links themselves don't actually protrude beyond the lugs. So the watch measures a true 49.5 millimeters lug to lug, and that's exactly how it wears across the wrist. Now it's weighty, of course. The case is deep, it has an iron inner core to protect the movement, and modern full solid link Rolex bracelets are incredibly substantial. Likewise, the fully milled out clasps are substantial, and this bracelet does include the Rolex Easy Link incremental adjustment, so you can take in or take out 5 millimeters of length as your wrist expands and contracts during periods of activity, inactivity, hot or cold weather. Now the nice thing about the Milgauss is that it's sold as a technician's watch, but it might be, in a sort of roundabout way, the most elegant and balanced of the Rolex sports watches. Consider the symmetry of the dial. There's no date to break it up. That's because Rolex didn't want to include the aperture for the date because it didn't want another perforation in the iron inner case that protects the movement from magnetic flux. So you have a very clean dial in service of the underlying technical principle, but nevertheless, incidentally, beautifully balanced. The other nice thing is, with no date, there's no Cyclops eye magnifier, so its awkwardness is, in this case, dismissed and no concern for the Milgauss owner. Moreover, it's important to note that the case is pure, simple, unadorned by crown guards, so it's unmarred by any kind of extraneous details. Beautifully polished, but not excessively. The watch is handsome and versatile, and with this dark dial, you have a stunningly versatile combination of a white metal case and a dark, potent dial. It has punch. It looks bigger on the wrist than its 40 millimeters and its sub 50 millimeter lug-to-lug span, but it doesn't wear huge. It's viable on smaller wrists, and it's one of the few modern Rolex 40mm references that is. It doesn't feel anything like the ungainly super case of the 6-digit ceramic bezel GMTs and Submariners. Now the other thing that's really nice about the watch is that you get a nice simple chronometer grade movement. Of course, the caliber 3131, 31 joules, 48-hour power reserve, automatic winding. It has more than the usual fortification against magnetic flux. Now Rolex's Parachrom blue hairspring is included across much of the line today, and it adds anti-magnetic qualities. The Milgauss gets an additional special escapement known as anachronous nickel, and it has that shell, that soft iron shell around the entire movement, under the dial and under the case back. So the watch does have protection from 1000 Gauss, but it's likely, given the layers of resistance invested in this watch, that it's actually a little bit more resistant than that even. Now the watch does have 100-meter water resistance, so it's also a true sports watch, versatile in the sense that it can be worn with a business suit or a bathing suit. And if the lightning bolt style hand looks a little bit fanciful to you, remember that's actually a reference to Rolex's own history, having been included on the original reference 6541 back in 1956. So true to history, it's not a postmodern flourish, though you think it may be. This is a handsome and fun reference that nevertheless pulls off a level of elegance that you simply don't see in most of the modern Some might even say slightly oversized Rolex sports references, and in that sense, perhaps the most specialized of Rolex sports watches also becomes the most aesthetically versatile. You can see and you can purchase this Rolex Milgauss on our website.